have been looking so forward to this interview for months. However, there is one slight problem.
What?
Cameron, I'm going to have to ask you to move over there and join your other television wife for this interview.
Okay, I will.
Because this is about you guys. And you know what, Elizabeth, this is a little bit awkward. It's a little bit one television wife meeting another television wife. If
I
you
don't
weren't
feel
so
awkward.
If you weren't so lovely, it would be even more awkward. But I'm very excited.
I would say the same
right?
thing. Look how gorgeous she is.
Oh my gosh! Right
I'm a
back
lucky
at
man.
you.
I
I'm a
didn't-
lucky man.
Yeah.
Should we try this again?
Let's go. Let's try it again.
Welcome back, everyone. We have been looking very forward to this interview for months, really. Our next guests are very familiar faces to all of us. She developed a huge fan following on such shows as Lost and V, while he's my co-host, among many other things. From the Christmas Club premiering tonight on Hallmark Channel, welcome Mr. Cameron Mathison and Miss Elizabeth Mitchell.
Oh my gosh,
This
she's
is
the
so
best.
much fun.
Hi,
Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hi.
I have to tell you, saying I know Cameron very well is a huge understatement. We have known each other for over 20 years. He's been in my life longer than even my husband or most men I know, to be completely honest with you. And he is one of the kindest people I know.
The kindest.
Now, I will tell you, he came back from doing the movie and he said the same thing about you. He said she is one of the kindest people I have ever met.
And I've got proof.
Look at that.
Because we're on set, everybody. We're on location. This did it for me. This made it seem that I knew she was the kindest person, most positive person ever. On set, on location, and there were sirens going by, and they kept on interrupting our takes, and it was kind of, you know, it's been a long day, and I was getting a little in front of the ambulance after fire truck, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of sirens in Winnipeg. What's going on? And Elizabeth says, every time I hear an ambulance, I think of babies being born.
Oh my
and I'm
goodness.
Like, that's the way her mind works, just like that.
Whoa.
And that's when I had to hand over the crown. I'm not even in the same realm of kind and
That is
positive.
so, that's straight out of a Hallmark movie.
It's the truth.
Now let's talk about the movie for a minute.
Yes, let's do
Your
it.
characters, Edward and Olivia,
Yeah.
fate really plays a big role in their lives. How
Fate
so?
really does. Olivia is a ballet teacher,
Yes.
beautiful and elegant ballet teacher. My character, Edward, is a big business consultant who's visiting this town. And what happens is they're walking on the side of the street and there's an elderly woman that's got her Christmas savings. She saved up $80 all year to buy her Christmas presents for everybody that she has. And a big gust of wind happens and the four $20 bills blow out of her hands and they end up going to random strangers out there. And we're kind of crossing at that time. And so that moment kind of brings us together in that moment. And through the movie, those $20 bills kind of they keep on reappearing. And I liked what you said about them. Every time one shows up.
Every time one shows up, it sparks a new way of our getting together.
Yes.
And we fall a little bit more in love.
Well, I think a moment that the two of your characters probably fell a little bit more in love was that so sweet carriage ride scene.
yeah.
I mean, what a beautiful scene. There it is. We're looking at
There
it.
it is.
And you guys look so cozy. And someone else who was also there, this is Layla.
Yeah.
It's the best part.
Yeah, Cameron's daughter makes her film debut.
You go ahead.
So lovely. So she was on FaceTime.
Yeah.
And we stuck her on the dash and we got to talk to her in between. And I swear, you'll see that Cameron's face is all lit up and all joyful and happy. That's because he's staring right at Layla.
Well, we have an adorable clip of the movie
good.
where
Oh,
right after your
really?
characters just meet and you sort of
Okay.
come together to help the little old lady find her savings.
Oh,
Let's
she's
take a look.
Okay.
Who are we kidding? Those 20s got to be long gone by now.
I know. So, what should we do?
I've got two 20s.
Really thoughtful. Okay, that's funny. I have two too.
Oh, should we really do this? I mean, maybe it's a scam.
You mean that little old lady was lying in wait to scatter her fake money into the wind in the odd chance that two random people would give her their money to help her?
Maybe. I mean, even master criminals have to get old. I'm Edward, by the way.
Olivia.
Nice to meet you.
Me too. Okay.
So,
should we do this?
I think we should.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And that is the beginning of it all.
That is so
You're so
sweet.
good.
Oh my gosh, I loved watching you.
Well, that scene we were talking about, you guys were talking about Gertrude, the little old lady that Cameron's character potentially thinks may be a crook, which obviously is not the case.
How funny is
But she
that?
keeps popping up. There she is throughout the movie, sort of unexpectedly, but she's seemingly sort of helping the two of you sort of get together, like you said, Elizabeth. Now, after watching that, I was wondering, I wonder if the two of you have ever had a sort of Gertrude character in your lives, almost like a little angel that pops up to help you.
Help guide us, help
Yeah.
us through things. Well, for sure, I can. One person comes to mind for me immediately. When I was a kid, I was 2.5, 3 years old. I was diagnosed with a degenerative hip bone disease in my hips called Legg-Perthes disease. I was in the hospital. It was a very scary time. Imagine being that old and not understanding that you can't use your legs for the next 4 or 5 years wearing this brace. And I was in the hospital. My mom's best friend, her name's Diane Atkins. She's a therapist too, so she knew how to handle these situations. She got me, there she is there on the left. She got me this stuffed animal, a stuffed mouse, and she called it the Care About Cameron doll. And she gave me a little poem. And that Care About Cameron, like it literally got me through those hospital stays and all the tough times, and I still have it. I still kept it. So Diane Atkins, and who's also helped me in other ways through my life, would be my Gertrude. How about you?
Oh my gosh, Karen, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Isn't that
Oh,
sweet?
Gosh, it's beautiful. I had my 3 Graces, which were my grandmother and her 2 sisters, who were the kindest women I think I've ever met.
And very chic, I might add.
Very chic. That's Betty on the left. She's my grandma. We have Blanche and Ruth, and they were very chic. And everyone used to say that when you'd walk into a room with them, you'd leave and feel like you were another foot taller. So
Because they made you feel so
they
important.
make you feel so important and big and loved and seen. And they would always say, you know, if you're upset, stop paying attention to yourself. Take care of other people.
It's the secret to
weren't
life.
they
It's the secret to happiness.
My
know.
goodness, the 3 wise women.
Wow,
I
that's
think
right.
so too. Yeah.
And those 3 Graces were probably there on Christmas morning when you opened the best gift that you've ever received. So Elizabeth told me that she received something that changed her life when she was a child.
Do you want to know?
I do want to know.
Snow cone maker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we're talking about when I was a kid, so it was the loud one.
Oh,
like the one
man.
where they're like,
Oh, incredible. So like a legit snow cone maker.
yeah, and I never
Amazing.
stopped. I made it all the time.
You could have used that snow cone maker in July when we were making this
We
movie.
really
and
could've.
they're like, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, just in case there is a sequel,
Right.
I want the 2 of you to know that we got both of you a little something. Since you were such troopers back in July shooting that movie in the heat and wearing all those layers of clothing,
I'm usually
this
part
is
of the
a more
surprise.
Oh my gosh!
snow cone
That is
maker.
amazing.
Elizabeth, they've come a long way since you were 8.
Oh
You
my
got a
Here you go.
Oh, yeah, I got one too. Come on.
So cool!
Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you
Merry
so
Christmas,
much.
guys.
Amazing.
Oh, I'm usually in on the
stand by.
surprise.
Wait, there's a little more.
Oh,
This really is Christmas.
you are so lovely. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Here you go, Elizabeth. That's for you.
Oh,
Thank
CJ, you're
you.
gonna love this.
That's for you.
Deb, you've been busy with
for me.
your holiday shopping.
Well, this is exactly why we didn't want you to see what was happening, and I made you move over there.
oh my
Is it fun to be a guest?
It is fun to be a guest.
Cheers.
It's fun
Cheers.
to be a guest.
Cheers.
Love you, Elizabeth.
I love you right back.
Both you guys.
Thank you
Cheers.
so
Love you.
much.
I don't even know how to eat this.
Cheers.
Just like that, Cam.
Okay.
Just like that. You will be sure to tune in
Oh,
tonight at
really
8, 7 Central for the premiere of The Christmas Club right here on Hallmark Channel.